Shimpi ma'am, am I audible? Ma'am, I couldn't hear you. Am I audible? You're on mute.
Dr. Shweta, am I audible?
Yes, it's echoing.
Is it fine now?
This is echoing.
Is it fine?
Yes, better.
Yeah.
Mine also is fine.
It's perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Greetings of the day to the galaxy of intellectuals, our distinguished guests, parents, and all the spectators who are watching us live on YouTube. I, Shimpi Vadva, am extremely privileged to have this opportunity to welcome you all on behalf of DLDAV Model School, MD Block, Pitampura. Today, we are here for the induction program for the new session 2023-24 for our newly attached parents. Dear parents, this program is very important for you all to attend as we want you to get familiar with the school, which is considered as the second home of the child. We are connected for the first time today. That is why we want you to be there till the end of the program. On this platform, we have with us our esteemed principal ma'am, Mrs. Seema Agarwal, our supervisory head in charge of the junior wing, Mrs. Simi Mahajan, and our guest of honor, a well-known pediatric occupational therapist, Dr. Shweta Vadva. She is our school alumna and also the proud parent of our school. She has done bachelor's in occupational therapy, master's in health science of occupational therapy, pediatric, fellowship in neurodevelopmental disabilities. She is a certified sensory integration therapist USA, certified oral placement therapist, certified brain gym instructor level 1. For the past 14 years, she has been serving the field of occupational therapy. For past 12 years, she is running a clinic named Subha, the New Start. It is a complete rehabilitation center where they deal with kids having delayed milestones, autism, ADHD, behavioral issues, learning disabilities, handwriting difficulty, and slow learning. She has been invited by many schools to hold talks with parents and teachers on how to manage kids, and by Delhi government to train the educators about the need of kids in school. She is also a consultant at Sri Balaji Action Medical Institute. She received the Women Empowerment Award on Women's Day 2022. She has been interviewed by a reputed magazine. She's a keen learner and passionate about her work. She emphasizes early intervention and believes in the ability of kids rather than disability. Before proceeding further, I want to remind you all to stay tuned with us till the end of the program. Now let us begin with DAV Gan to mark the tradition of DAV.
दिशि उद्घोष अभय दिए विजय जय, दिए विजय जय। प्रबल प्रवाहमयी नित नूतन, जीवन दायिनी सदा सनातन। वेद प्रणीता परम पुनीता, ये धारा अक्षय। दिए विजय जय, दिए विजय जय। दयानंद से प्रेम भक्ति ले, हंसराज से त्याग शक्ति ले। धर्म भक्ति का राष्ट्र शक्ति का हो दिन मान उदय। दिए विजय जय, दिए विजय जय। सुख समृद्धि इसकी लहरें, प्रेम शांति इसके तट ठहरे। सघन शांतिमय प्रबल क्रांतिमय, लिए अटल निश्चय। दिए विजय जय, दिए विजय जय।
Education is simply soul of society as it passes from one generation to another. Education is what survives when what has been learned is forgotten. On behalf of our principal ma'am and other staff members, once again, I welcome you all dear parents to the induction program for the session 2023-24. We take the occasion to provide a comprehensive introduction to our services, facilities, and necessary regulatory information. We aim to set up and promote a close relationship with all parents in the interests of their children. We are sure that this induction program will serve its purpose and establish a strong bond of understanding that lasts throughout the child's school life. Light is a symbol of brightness and prosperity. To make our day a blessed one, let's invoke Goddess Saraswati by kindling the lamp of knowledge and wisdom. Let us now begin with our cultural trend of lighting the lamp.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः।
Now, I would like to invite our honorable and dignified principal ma'am for the welcome address.
Good afternoon, everyone. I cordially welcome my dear parents and guardians and congratulate all on the beginning of the new academic session 2023-24. At the onset of the program, I sincerely wish the new academic session to be a year of amazing discoveries, new victories, and outstanding achievements. Bitter are the tears of a child, sweeten them. Deep are the thoughts of a child, delve into them. Sharp is the grief of a child, lessen its sharpness. Soft is the heart of a child, let it remain as it is, do not harden it. We at DLDV Pitampura School keenly support the pivotal and proactive role that an educational organization plays in the holistic development of children. The shift of thought from bookish knowledge to knowledge of life in schools has brought forth a sea of change. Dear parents, children acquire skills and knowledge easily if they find the surroundings stimulating and purposeful. As a dynamic and progressive educational institution, we provide collaborative, cooperative, and supportive environment to foster innovation, which is not only interesting and conducive for learning, but also ensure that our students grow up into independent individuals with deep-rooted value system. It gives me immense pleasure to share that we are committed to uphold child-centered ethos. We seek to set new standards in education and look ahead with confidence for future achievements. We firmly believe that the parents are their child's first and most important teacher. We always strive to build strong parent-teacher relationship and happily welcome all our parents to participate not only in the educational journey of their children, but also contribute in shaping socio-cultural, physical, mental, and spiritual development. One of my foremost priority as the principal of the school will be focused on nurturing creativity and encourage independent thinking of your child. I would ensure that our children progress and succeed globally with ingrained values of compassion, tolerance, and patience. We stand committed to providing quality education to all the students, thus making this Anglo-Vedic institution the choice for all those who care about learning of Indian cultural heritage, of tradition and ethics. I encourage you to visit school's website often as possible. You can find up-to-date events, classroom photographs, and additional information. Another very important communication tool that we use to keep parents informed is a daily planner, which is a quick and effective tool to keep the doors of communication open between home and school. We will be working closely with you to ensure that your child receives the best possible education and will be sharing the child's progress and developmental milestones each and every day. I firmly believe and I assure you that you and your child are going to have a wonderful journey along with the teachers in this school in junior wing at the TP block and later in the senior wing at the ND block, Pitampura. Learning, discovering, and enjoying new phases of life. I once again wholeheartedly welcome you all in our school. Good luck and all the best, dear parents and students.
So much, dear ma'am. We now bring before you a presentation to give you a bird's eye view of the innumerable activities, the ample facilities, as well as the throbbing life at TP block.
DLDAV Pitampura celebrates 43 years of excellence in education. The school is about the spirit, morals, and ethics of life. The spirit that makes human beings humane, pervades the school, and guides the students in their aspirations and goals. Look up and aim high. The school is not merely a name, but a domain, an academic brand, an organization that feels and dreams, thinks and delivers. It has a genuine identity and panache, longevity and experience, history and heritage. It is an attitude and a way of life people identify with and have trust in. By judiciously capitalizing on skills and experiences gathered over the years, it is an unenviable cornucopia heralding a new benchmark. The pursuit of excellence in all its myriad dimensions is a relentless passion at the school. The school's apex body, DAV-CMC, is the biggest stakeholder in academic management in India, which plays a stellar role in rejuvenating the youth of the country intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually. It is spearheaded by the dynamic Shri Poonam Suri ji, President DAV-CMC, who is the alchemist of the organization and the inspiration behind crafting of a global niche. Dr. Harsh Mahajan is an eminent radiologist and a pioneer in the field of magnetic resonance imaging of India. He is the president of the Indian Radiology and Imaging Association and is also a consultant to the International Atomic Energy Association, Vienna, Austria. He is currently the chief radiologist at Mahajan Imaging Private Limited, the company he founded. Dr. Mahajan has had an exceptional career, and apart from his deep knowledge of the subject, his teaching abilities, spirit of entrepreneurship, what really sets him apart is his human approach and kindness. Dr. Mahajan has many achievements and has received several awards and honors in his career. It is an honor to have such an erudite and scholar as the chairman of the school. Mrs. Adarsh Kohli, manager of the school, guides us by her experience and expertise. Her guidance in our quest for progress has helped us surpass many milestones and set new trends. Mrs. Anita Vadera, former principal, is an embodiment of poise, composure, and strength of personality. Her tireless and zealous efforts, her indomitable spirit, her endless perseverance add a silver lining to her magnetic personality. She is a multifaceted luminary, a strict disciplinarian, an able administrator, and a human being par excellence. Principal Mrs. Seema Agarwal has a modern outlook and a progressive and pragmatic approach to education. She believes that education is an elevating and evolving experience for a better world, which is everybody's right. Her love for kids knows no bounds. She envisions to give them the freedom to be themselves, the opportunities to flourish, and the guidance to grow so that they may outthink others and transform their tomorrow. Mrs. Simi Mahajan, the supervisory head of the wing, supports the school vision by constantly coaching, resolving issues, and serving as a link between school, parents, and the management. She is backed by a team of trained, experienced, committed, and dedicated teaching faculty. The junior wing at TP Block is a wonderland of learning that initiates children into the first step of knowledge. It instills and sustains in them curiosity and passion to have a quest of learning and zeal for life always. In its quest to foster the all-round personality of a child, the school undertakes various endeavors and activities and has ventured into a number of initiatives. The aim is to develop an integrated life, strengthen character, and inculcate sensitivity towards society. A gamut of co-curricular activities along with celebration of festivals, significant days, kids carnival, and special assemblies has been sprinkled across the session in order to hone student skills and tap their innate potential. The EEDP, Early Education Development Program, is an in-house creation of DAV Education Board. It aims to add fun to education and eliminates the conventional style of education, allowing learning to take place through activities. It focuses on the overall development of children and lays stress on developing cognitive domains instead of cramming and memorization to make evaluation a continuous and comprehensive process. Many of the key features of National Education Policy are already embedded in this curriculum, which are reconceptualized from time to time as per the needs of the students. The cornerstone of becoming a successful learner at any age comes down to the 4 C's: critical thinking, collaboration, creativity, and communication, which are made part of everyday's teaching-learning process. Play, way, and activity approach have been adopted in teaching with the goal of providing a stimulating play environment. It is through play that a child learns responsibility, creativity, and problem-solving skills. It allows flexibility of renewal and upgradation that has been designed in keeping with the learner's needs in mind. It helps the child to discover himself and his environment through exploration and discovery. Here, teaching aids play a vital role. Besides, the school building is also used as a learning aid under the BALA scheme. The educational kits for early childhood section of the school, that is classes LKG to class 2, prepared by DAV-CAE, comprise of interesting play material in the form of games. The activities have been conceived so as to focus on development of language and the intellectual, physical, emotional and creative sides of the child. These kits are being regularly used in the school to polish each and every concept in a fun way. The Cambridge wing of the school, affiliated with Cambridge Assessment International Education, is a gateway to a learning community. Participation in global learning activities through various initiatives aims at unwavering commitment towards holistic development of students and grooming of ethical global citizens. To introduce children to technology, a well-equipped computer lab is set up. It aids students with ample work area and freedom to work with ease for better understanding of the concepts, to enhance the skills of critical thinking and problem solving, and foster imagination and creativity. The school has a well-equipped space to take care of any medical emergency arising within the school. A qualified nurse is present throughout the school hours to take care of the children in case of any mishap. Medical consumables, basic medicines, and first aid boxes are always adequately available. The school is future ready, right from its inception to now. The institution has marched forward with the belief that every child is unique and that no child should be left behind. The key focus areas continue to remain creating opportunities, challenging minds, encouraging innovation, and sustaining excitement. The day starts with the morning assembly with the chanting of Vedic mantras and prayer. Various English and Hindi rhymes are also taught with actions to incite learning with fun. Children are made aware of good habits and their responsibility towards the environment. Zumba and aerobic exercises are taken up to add an extra zest among the little ones. To promote various life skills and make them familiar with their surroundings, various shows like puppet show, magic show, fruit show, vegetable show, and health show are regularly held. Havans are performed regularly as part of DAV culture, in which students participate with a lot of enthusiasm. To promote healthy eating habits, Flavoursome Fridays are planned, wherein children bring and enjoy a variety of food together. Grooming sessions are conducted where children learn buttoning of shirts, table manners, and gift packing. It is joyful as well as essential learning for our little wonders. Under Adopt a Child policy, teachers guide the students who need more attention and provide them extra coaching on a regular basis. Their efforts have paid rich dividends. The Helen O'Grady Performing Arts program introduced in the school helps enhance the oratory skills of the children. Primary Plus magazine is provided to the students of classes pre-primary and 1 to enhance their reading skills, vocabulary, and mental abilities. Sports is an integral part of the curriculum. Fun activities are organized in sports classes: walking on the rope, lemon and spoon race, musical chairs, simple races, and hopscotch on a weekly basis, with special emphasis on development of hand and eye coordination and inculcation of team spirit, sportsmanship, and leadership qualities. Tennis is being taught by professional coaches under whose guidance the little champions learn the basic values of sportsmanship and teamwork. Health and life skill clubs are initiated to make children aware of health, hygiene, sanitation, and right etiquettes. We make the world we live in and shape our own environment. Through Eco Club, various awareness activities for environment conservation and pollution control are carried out. Under the aegis of Inquisitive Club, GK Quiz is organized. Little minds ignite with wit, sharpness, and knowledge that gave a splendid performance. Children are prepared for natural calamities like fire and earthquake, where time to time drills are organized for unforeseen circumstances under disaster management. Storytelling sessions are held frequently where children enjoy the fascinating experience of storytelling and are able to learn more about life, the world, and themselves. Sparking a passion for reading from a young age is very important for a child's development and is of course fun. Every class has a collection of books of its own that is used for extensive reading. Pictorial storybooks, picture reading books are provided to encourage reading habits, and students can choose their favorite book to read. School picnics are organized to provide a great opportunity for students to cherish wonderful experiences and gain many skills beyond enjoyment. With an aim to augment professional development of its teachers, the school organizes seminars with the objective to enhance the quality of teaching learning process with latest innovations in pedagogy. The training sessions update the teachers with the latest content, making them sufficiently competent in effective methods, tools, and techniques of teaching. We periodically also conduct e-board workshops and training programs in order to technically update the teachers for efficient working. Significant days like Republic Day, Independence Day, and Gandhi Jayanti were celebrated in the school to develop the spirit of patriotism and love for the motherland. Various days like International Day of Peace, Children's Day, Earth Day, World Heritage Day, World Book Day, Mother's Day, Color Week celebration, World Literacy Day, World Food Day, and Teachers' Day added zest to the school routine. Celebration of festivals like Janmashtami, Dashehra, Deepavali, Christmas, and Shraddhanand Divas enabled the students to know about their culture and traditions. Various activities like fancy dress, English and Hindi poem recitation, story narration, show and tell, ad mania, master chef, salad making, helpers show, and spell bee helped to promote innovation, creativity, and healthy competition. Children also participated in various inter-school activities like Radio Jockey from the Future, Master Chiefs, Clay Play, Ad Mad, Every Drop Counts, Decor di Table, Craft Corner with eco-friendly materials, Twinkling Toes Dance, Crossroads, Fancy Dress, Show and Tell. They have brought glory to school by their commendable performances and by bagging several awards. The euphoric journey of Chrysalis, a profusion of ecstasy, was organized for classes 1, pre-primary and nursery. It helped them to showcase their theatrical skills with lots of exuberance and innocence. Newsomatic facilitated reading and telling of high-interest non-fiction stories by the students and for the students. Grandparents' Day was celebrated and grandparents participated in different activities like singing, dancing, and storytelling. On Hindi Divas, The children participated in Hindi recitation activities with full enthusiasm. National Mathematics Day was celebrated to pay tribute to a great mathematician, Srinivas Ramanujan. Various brain juggling activities like Mathabola, Frolic with Birthday Dates, Fire in the Mountain, and Mathmania were held for all the classes. Various Olympiads like HMO, HSO, ARO, HGO, HCO, HEO, HHO, Spell Bee, and HMIT were conducted for Class 1 students to enhance their problem-solving skills. The school continues to stand tall in its commitment to deliver quality education through high standards of pedagogy and creating an environment where the tiny tots are effortlessly ushered through an engaging education, amassed with energy and entertainment. Once again, the DAV fraternity welcomes all the children with open arms and promises to turn their lives into a rich tapestry, one that you and all of us would be proud of. Let no one steal your dreams. Let no one tear apart the burning of ambition that fires the drive inside your heart. Let no one tell you that you can't. Let no one hold you back. Let no one tell you that you won't. Set your sights and keep them fixed. Set your sights on high. Follow your heart. Follow your soul. For only when you follow them will you feel truly whole. Let no one steal your dreams. Your only limit is the sky. Thank you.
Thank you for watching the presentation. By now, you must have got to know that we keep marching ahead under the leadership of our venerated principal ma'am. Now, let us listen to the enlightening words of our motivational speaker, Dr. Shweta Vadva, and try to assimilate from her knowledge and experiences. Before she begins, let me inform you that during her live address, you may post your queries in the YouTube comment box. She will try to address as many as possible. Over to you, Shweta ma'am.
Thank you so much, Shimpi ma'am. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction that you had shared. A very good afternoon to all the parents, to our respected principal ma'am, to all the teachers and in charge ma'am. First of all, I would like to thank Principal Ma'am for having me here. So, wanted to tell each one of you that I am a proud alumni of DLDAV Model School, Pitampura, and a proud parent also. So, my daughter has recently graduated from PP Block to ND Block, and the entire the presentation that you have just seen, I have witnessed in each and every step of it. And would like to say that those photographs are not just for the sake of taking photographs. Each and everything actually happens in real, and kids learn so many things through those activities. So a round of applause for all the teachers, because they have been making that constant effort to make the kids learn through every activity. And that would have not been possible without the guidance of the in-charge ma'am, who is actually guiding every teacher in the junior branch, and without the leadership of our principal ma'am, who is the captain of the ship. So without wasting further time, I would like to welcome all the parents for sparing your time in this Saturday afternoon, which is your off day ideally, and you are here for your parents, which actually tells me that you are really committed to your parenting and you don't want to miss any single step that your child is taking. Your child is actually entering into a very major milestone from a preschool to a formal schooling, which is a very, very big step for every child to enter. So congratulations to every parent who is now the member of this DLDAV family, because you have made a very wise decision. Here, when I talk about DAV, they put so many values to the kids. Like principal ma'am said that, they work for the child-centered approach. So that is actually true. But apart from that, the values that they put into the child are so beautiful. Not just, the religious days that they are celebrating, not the basic events that is happening, but apart from that, the moral values in terms of providing the mantras and in terms of doing the havans, that really gives kids a lot of values, the values about our Indian culture. So now, without wasting any further time, ma'am, can I share my PPT? I hope this is visible to everybody. So when I say that all of us are here for this, this orientation session where your child is entering into this big step of preschool to the formal schooling, we should know what our kids doing. We should know what our kids are going through. Each and every step that your child is taking, the parent should be aware of that step. Having said that, a little brief of who am I? I'm a pediatric occupational therapist. And what does that mean? Usually parents doesn't know what occupational therapy is. But having said that, each one of us have our own occupations. Somebody would say that you are a teacher, somebody would say you're a doctor, somebody would say you are an IT professional, somebody would say that you are a homemaker, but these are all your career options. Every activity that you do from starting your day till the time you end your day is your occupation. It could be your house chore, it could be your brushing, it could be anything. Similarly, our kids, they also have their important occupation. Now, kids have to do a lot of things from the time they start their day. They have to do their daily chores. They have to perform their daily routine activities, inclusive of brushing, bathing, eating, going to the school, chit-chatting with the friends, following the instructions of the teachers, whatever the teacher is doing in the school, then coming back home, playing with the friends, sleeping, napping, doing homework, everything. So they have got so many things to do. And the most important occupation for any child is to play. To which I have already said that when your child plays, their learning capacity improves. And they are fast learners if you provide that healthy environment, that environment which is inclusive of play activities where your child can learn. Now, the environment, the play activities that are already done in the school, if the kids come back home and you as parents also provide those activities to the kids at home, their interest level goes up to this level. So, like Principal Ma'am said that you are the primary teacher, parents are the primary teachers for their kids. Similarly, you are the primary therapist for your child. If the child is not able to perform any single occupation which a child should be doing, then this is the time wherein you can set your alarms, get alarmed that yes, probably my child needs a little more input, a little more push, a little more guidance so that he or she can overcome this lag that he or she is having. Yeah, so they don't really need the professional guidance every time, but you are the professionals for them. So which is why we are here, so that we can guide you if there is something which is not really falling in place, how you can fix it up. So what is parenting? Parenting is something that you are supporting your child physically, emotionally, socially, and intellectually, right from the day the child is born. And it goes on. It never ends. Parenting never ends. Your parents are still taking care of you, even though you are a parent right now. So parenting never ends. But when I talk about you as a parent, you are taking care of the physical development of your child. If your child is walking, if your child is talking, your child is doing all the other activities which age appropriately your child has to do, how your child is able to connect with you emotionally. Is he or she able to express the feelings? Are they able to tell you that today was a wonderful day in my school? Today was a little low day in my school. I spoke to my friends. I did play with my friends. Today, I sat with this particular child in the school. So every emotion, be it a good emotion, be it a not good emotion, is the child able to convey this to you? Is the child able to connect themselves in the class socially with the friend circle, with their peer group? They're able to adjust themselves in that peer group. They're able to share their lunch. They're able to share their belongings. They're able to, sit together and have talks. And apart from that, are they developing intellectually? Are their cognitive levels growing or no? So that is all parenting is all about. It's a never-ending process. And like I said, it starts right from the beginning. There is no specific set time that this is the time I have to start my parenting. Now I need to be alert because my child is probably 3 or 5 or 7. I have to be alert to be a good parent. No, your parenting starts right from the beginning. There is no set time. That is the only set time that you have to start your parenting. When I say parenting, there are basically 4 types of parenting. Why am I discussing this parenting style with you? This is important just to have a self-analysis of yourself as a parent. I am sure each one of you have been trying your 100%, even if you're working or you're not working, whatever amount of time you're able to provide to your child, but you have been trying 100% to deliver the best you can. But we being human beings, somewhere we always lag. Okay. So even if we are lagging behind, how we can push ourselves to reach to the optimum level that we can. So which is why I'm just trying to share these parenting styles. And at the end of this discussion, I would want each one of you to write in the chat box which parenting style you are following. So the first parenting style is the authoritarian parenting style, which means that you are dominating your child to all the extremes. You are just, trying to make a robot out of your child. If you want your child to sit, the child should sit. If you say stand, the child has to stand. So whatever you are saying, the child is blindly following you. And this is what you want. You want to over-discipline your child. You want to overpower your child that you should just follow what am I saying. Okay. So that is what authoritarian parenting style means. Authoritative parenting style means that you are trying to build up a nice bond with your child. You are trying to create a beautiful relationship with your child, which is inclusive of a balance. A balance that says that sometimes the parent is dominating, sometimes the child is dominating. Sometimes the child has to listen to the mama or papa and the grandparents. Sometimes the parents have to listen to the child. So all the days are not equal that every time the kid has to listen to the parent, every time the parent has to listen to the child. No, but there is a balance. And there's a very thin line between creating this balance and being probably the authoritative parenting style or the further styles that we will be discussing. But when you try to, you try to build that relationship wherein the child feels free to come to you and speak to you, that is the most beautiful parenting style. The third one is the permissive parenting style, which means that that you are just trying to give permission to everything your child wants to do. If your child wants to run, he or she can run. If they want to do jumping, they can do jumping. If they're throwing, they can do throwing. Whatever they want to do, you have given permission because they are kids, and let them be. This is just the opposite of authoritarian parenting style. Yeah, just the opposite of authoritarian parenting style, which tells me that, again, okay, before discussing this, let's go on to the last parenting style, that is uninvolved parenting style. Here, the parent is least bothered what the child is doing. The parent doesn't want to pay attention to what child is doing. If the child is playing, okay, good for the child, he or she is playing. If the child is eating, good for the child, he or she is eating. But I want to do whatever my tasks are. If I want to have my leisure time, I should have my leisure time. If I want to have my me time by any means, I want to relax, I want to do whatever. Or it could be the office work also that you're doing. But even if you're doing anything out of this, you should not ignore what your child is doing. So out of these 4 parenting styles, the best and the most productive parenting style is authoritative parenting style. Now, why authoritative? One, I've already told that there is a beautiful relationship bond created by the parent with the child, which is a very positive bond. Because somewhere you are giving the child also to express what the child wants to do. Apart from that, when the child is not able to express what he or she wants to do, what happens? They want somebody from outside to whom they can tell that this is what I wanted to do. And when you as parent are not being found by the child at home to share those feelings, to share that bond, what will happen? They are going to go outside the home boundaries to find that person with whom they can share that bond. They can share those feelings. It could be a teacher. It could be someone in a relationship, but it could be somebody outside who's not a good person as well. So they might fall into a company which is not good for the child. But because the child trusts that person, because that person is listening to the child wants to be with that person. So why to let the child go out? We should create that environment. We as parents should create that environment at the home where your child can easily come to you, tell you, give the thoughts that this is what I want to do. So that positive relationship building is very, very important. Now, I want each one of you, now since you know what parenting styles are, please put it in the chat box what parenting style you have been following. Like I said, the authoritative is the best parenting style. Now, there is something more to this parenting. There are 3 important P's to the parenting. The first one is the performance. What performance means? You are trying to see what your child is performing. उसने कुछ अच्छा किया, उसने कुछ अच्छा नहीं किया, maybe some good behavior, some not good behavior, whatever. But why do we forget that performance comes to the result of what you have delivered? जो हमने बच्चे को दिया है, परफॉर्मेंस उसी के बेसिस के ऊपर ही तो आएगी. It is not going to come from somewhere outside, because till now you have been the main guideline to the child. You have been everything to the child. So the performance is all dependent upon you. It's not about till now, it's also about later on also, because home is a place where your child is spending the most of your time, most of their time. Yeah. So performance comes to what you have delivered. Let me explain this with an example. Let's say your child is getting addicted to phone, which is, something kids have been addicted to screen time, but COVID was something which has made our lives go completely hayway. It is completely an upside down roller coaster ride that COVID has given to us. And post COVID, kids have become so much screen dependent. So much screen dependent. But how they got to know that screen is something? Because they saw us. They saw us. It could be they saw us maybe working. It could be they saw us maybe, maybe watching something, maybe gaming on the phone in our free time. That these are the three things. Or maybe when we were working, we wanted our kids to sit down and we gave the phone to the child to settle down for a while, so till the time I perform my task. So all these areas, my child got to know that there is something called screen. Now, this something called screen is a beautiful thing because it is not asking me to do something. I am changing it. I am watching it. And in return, this screen is not asking me anything. So this is something which I really want every time. So how did this performance came that my child got screen addicted? Somewhere from us. So the good part or the good thing, how we can change our performance. Now, since we are not into that COVID time maybe, but still we are into the scenario when we are working, we are out, we are coming back home, at least to avoid giving our kids the screen, we have to first understand that we have to give up to the screen. When we are entering home, make it a point that this screen, this phone, this mobile, this laptop has to go at a side, because now this is the time where I want to spend the entire couple of hours, whatever you're getting, with my child. This is my child's time. If you do that, your child will understand that yes, agar mama papa ne phone dekha hai, that was for some purpose. They are not on the phone on every time. They're not watching television every time. So they understand. That is how their performance changes. So we are the role models for them. What we deliver to them, we will get the performance. For example, if the child starts shouting, that is the performance that you see. How did they learn? They learned from us. Probably we shouted on the child. If the child was not listening to me, I shouted on him. I shouted on her. Or maybe as a couple, sometimes we had some disagreement and we raised our voices. That is what the child learned, that this is one way of communicating. Similarly, if I can try to lower my voice in every scenario, the child will learn the same thing. So that is how the performance comes. The second P is being practical. What does being practical mean? That you have to have a reality check. You have to have the practical knowledge about your child. Every child is not same. No two kids are same. Not even the twinnies, not even the twin babies, they are also not same. So how can two kids of the class, two kids of the house, two kids of the entire family can be same? So you should not be comparing your child with either the sibling or the twins or the classmates or the other family members or the friends. If your child is good at something, you definitely need to promote that ability of the child to make this performance to the next level. But at the same time, if you know that your child is probably not doing little good in some area, you can always push that part also. But if you let them do what they are good at, they will get that motivation, they will get that energy to perform something which they are not good at. Because they are motivated now. They have done something which they have either done something or are going to do something which they are absolutely good at, and they get so many good compliments about it, that wow, you performed this so well, wow, you do this so good, you're so good at this. So the child wants to do that particular activity. The child gets motivated, and if there is something that the child is little not good at, you can always try and push. The child will definitely get the energy from something he or she is not good at. The third P is patience. Now, this patience is something each one of us is losing. Each one of us. I would not exclude myself also. Yeah. So each one of us is losing because the scenarios have changed. It is not the way it had been earlier. Now the life has become so hectic, so hush is going every single day. The patience is losing day by day. Every parent, every teacher, every individual is losing their patience. It's not about the parenting every time, but it's about general patience as well. Everybody is losing that patience. But coming back to parenting, you have to maintain that patience. If you maintain that patience with your child, with your whole heart, like I said earlier, the child has to come back to you with all their feelings, all their needs. With this patience, when you sit down and listen to the child, your child will definitely be your child. The bond will be such a strong bond. When we lose that patience, we tell child that, I am really busy right now. Please don't tell me all this. Tell me this a little later. Beta, abhi hum main khana bana rahi hu. Papa is waiting, mama is waiting, somebody. Thodi der mein baat karenge. The child, wo kisse baat karega? Wo kiske paas jayega? The first and the foremost person to approach is the parents, mummy and papa. So agar wo unke paas ja karke, they want to tell you something, that patience is really needed. People, give me just 1 minute, just wait for a minute here. I am coming back. I'll wash my hands and I come back and I'll sit and I'll listen to you what you want to tell. Now it is something that हमने बोला हम थोड़ी देर में बात करेंगे, and at the same time मैंने बोला just give me 1 minute, you sit down here, wait for me and I'm coming back. Both the things are same, but the way you're delivering is different. One is with patience, one is without patience. So if you maintain that patience, you will be able to manage your parenting in a much better way. You will be able to manage it beautifully. A lot of times we see that the kids are showing behaviors. Either the child is not sitting, either the child is not listening, either the child is hitting. But we need to understand why they are doing. If we sit down, gather all our patients together, and give the solution, things can get sorted. Now, having said that, having this mention of the behavior, I want to go a little more further, that why behavior happens. But before going to why behavior happens, I want to tell you what really behavior is. So behavior is any act that you do. Any act. Now this act could be related to internally and externally. Internally, with my feelings. Externally, it could be because of the environment, inclusive of the people around me. So जब हम behaviors की बात करते हैं, it is a very vast topic which I cannot cover here at this point in time in a short duration, but wanted to give you an overview because हम बहुत बार बात करते हैं that my child doesn't behave properly. Now I want each one of you to type in the chat box what all behaviors are there that you see with your child and you feel that are not appropriate, that are not a typical behavior, and you want to change those behaviors. Going further, when we see the behavior, that is only the tip of the iceberg. What we see, either we could have seen a child shouting, or we could have seen a child maybe hitting another child, maybe hitting you, maybe throwing something. But what is under that tip of the iceberg? There is so much going on, so many challenges which are going on for this particular poor child, because of which he or she showed some behavior. Okay, so we need to understand this reason why behavior happened. If we understand why this behavior happened, you can solve so many things. अगर हम, if we do not understand what really made this child show this behavior, and we only saw the tip of the iceberg and we don't know what's really under it, your ship is definitely going to collapse. Okay? To understand this behavior, we need to understand the thumb rule. That is A, B, C. Two things I want you to understand. Make note of this. One were the 3 P's. That is performance, practical, and patience. The next one is to understand the ABC thumb rule. Now, what is this ABC thumb rule? B here stands for the behavior that you see. A is the antecedent, means what happened before that behavior happened. And C means what happened after the behavior happened. What was the consequence of that behavior? Understanding the antecedent of the behavior, you can solve the behavior. You can decrease the frequency of the behaviors happening. Okay. So when I say antecedent, let me explain you with a small example. Let's say a small baby. A small baby is crying. This baby is crying. So you would try and understand why the baby is crying. अगर आप उसका antecedent समझ लेंगे, तो आप उस behavior को control कर सकते हैं. This crying is a behavior that you see. So for example, antecedent was that the child peed, the clothes got wet, and now the child is giving you a hint that I am crying, I am not feeling comfortable. Yeah. So as soon as you changed the antecedent, your behavior is going to go down. As soon as you change the clothes, the behavior will go down. Your child who was crying at that point in time will now not cry, will be a settled child. Similarly, अगर आप antecedent को समझ लेंगे, half of your problems are sorted. Sometimes we say that my child is hitting every time, but we need to understand why your child is hitting. Why your child is maybe not sitting. Why your child maybe is not writing. So to understand why this is happening, you have to understand this antecedent. I hope I have made this particular point clear, because this is very, very important, which is why I am stressing on this. How to manage behaviors. You can have reward charts. What is reward chart? Reward chart is something that, let's say I put a behavior which I as a parent feel that my child is not doing appropriately. I have kept that particular behavior on the chart at the top, and I have made days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And every day, if my child is behaving in a certain way, I am going to reward her or him with a star. So that's going to be a star chart or a reward chart for the child. And I have mentioned that, beta, at the end of the week, maybe we will count these stars maybe on a Sunday. So if there should be 7 stars, or there should be 6 stars if you're counting if you're not counting Sunday. So there should be 6 stars. But agar aapko 5 star bhi milenge na, mama is going to do something magical for you. Now understand, when you want to reward your child, please do not give rewards in terms of physical things. Which means that आज आपने उसको एक toy लेकर के दे दिया, or maybe you went outside to have some maybe McD's, आज आपने उसको एक chocolate लेकर के दे दी. These are all physical rewards. We don't want any physical rewards. What is the best reward to a child is the social appreciation. Let's say, अगर आपको 5 stars मिलेंगे, I'm going to call Nani Nanu and everybody in the house, and will tell that my child is, he or she is such a good child. उसने इतने अच्छे से behave किया, so let's clap. So you know, this social appraisal जब हमें मिलता है, all of us crave for this social appraisal. All of us, be it homemakers, be it professionals, everybody of us crave for these social appraisals. So अगर हमें वो social appraisal मिलते हैं in front of 5 people, we get motivated that yes, next time मैं इसको और zeal के साथ करूंगा, क्योंकि मुझे ये अच्छा लगा. आपने सबके सामने मेरी तारीफ करी, I felt so good about it, and I want to continue this good behavior because इसकी वजह से मुझे ये appraisal मिला. ये social appraisal मुझे क्यों मिला? Because I did something good. So this is how you're going to reward the good behavior of your child, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. The next one is the consistency. When you start to pinpoint a behavior and you start to manage that behavior, जरूरी नहीं है that in day 1, day 2, day 5 आप उस behavior को manage कर पाएंगे. This is not mandatory. Some people will be able to cope up with it within a couple of days. Some people might take more days. But you need to be consistent. You cannot lose your patience. Which is why I said that patience is something that plays a very important role. You cannot lose your patience. Keep trying hard. That consistency is the key to your success. So be consistent, be super consistent. Positive language. I personally, as a professional and as a parent, I stress so much on positive language. Now, what does positive language means? हम सब लोग बच्चों से बात करते हैं, अच्छी बात करने की कोशिश करते हैं, but the way we talk with the kids is usually inclusive of no's. That means ये मत करो, ये नहीं करना है, ये तुमने क्यों किया, ये अच्छी बात नहीं है. So we always try to include the no's in every now and then. अगर हम उसी चीज को, if we try and change in a little positive way, or in a way that what my child is supposed to do. For example, if I want my child not to hit somebody, what should I say? that baby आप भैया से प्यार से बात करो. It's the same thing I'm trying to teach my child. मारना नहीं है, प्यार से बात करनी है. Absolutely same thing that you want to teach your child, but the way you are teaching is different. One way you are using the positive language that भैया से प्यार से बात करेंगे. The other way you're telling मारना नहीं है, क्यों मारा तुमने? Right? Psychology says that kids don't understand no. So when you tell them मारना नहीं है, don't hit, no चला गया, what is left? मारना है. Hit. We don't want this for our child to learn. So we want them to learn the positive language. So if I add, for example, I have to add no. If I say that, suppose the kids are fighting and I want to tell them that, baby, mama आज happy नहीं है because आपने भैया को प्यार से बात नहीं करी. So even if from this sentence the no goes, what is the gist of it? That mama will be happy when you will be, when आप भैया से प्यार से बात करोगे, when you will be good with the brother. Right? So this positive language, I can guarantee, makes a lot of difference to a child's behavior, a lot of difference, with a guarantee, I tell you. But at the same time, I tell you, this is not easy, because the way we have been trained to talk is a little different. But if you start following this positive language, things are going to change too quickly. Next one is the simple rules. So when you want to you want your child to follow something, you should have very simple rules. Don't make the rules complicated. Just make very, very simple rule. छोटी चीजें. School से आएंगे, there is a set place for the bag. Beta, this is your bag place. देखो मम्मा ने यहाँ पे tag लगा दिया. Please keep your bag there. Super job, you did wonderful. You're my beautiful, you're my good child, you're my lovey-dovey child. So this is how you can motivate your child. As soon as the child does something good, please motivate them. And that tag, school bag, that place, a set place. So that is a set place. So that means that you have made a simple rule for the child. अगर उसने नहीं रखा, वो आज आकर के again, the bag is maybe on the dining table or on the bed or on the floor. You tell the child, चलो let us help each other. हम दोनों bag उठाएंगे and we'll put it at the place. Wow, this is a team. This is a good team. So you have to be the part of this process where your child is trying to change the behavior. हर रोज बच्चा आकर के बैग अपनी उसी जगह पे रखेगा जहां पे वो हर बार रखता आया है. आप परेशान होंगे, आप बोलेंगे तुम बैग अपनी जगह पे नहीं रखते हो, आई हैव डन सो मेनी थिंग्स, फिर भी आपको समझ में नहीं आता है. एंड दिस फाइट विल गो ऑन. रादर देन कीपिंग दिस फाइट गो ऑन एंड bittering our relationship, we can be the part of this learning process along with the child. Another thing which I really stress on is quality time. Like I said, that the time is now the way our lifestyle is a very hectic lifestyle. We don't get much time to do anything, even for our personal lives, either for our family, our parents, our kids. Time is something which is, just going too fast. But what quality time means, if you can take out those 10 to 15 minutes every day, sit with your child, talk to them nicely, that quality time covers up for the whole day. Your child should really look forward to this quality time, that मम्मा पापा आएंगे, हम साथ में बैठेंगे और हम साथ में बैठ करके कुछ बात करेंगे. They should crave for this time. That yes, probably after dinner हमारा एक टाइम होता है जहाँ पे हम तीनों चारों साथ में बैठे होते हैं as a family and हम एक दूसरे से बात करते हैं. या It's not just about having talks. It could be that हम dinner के बाद हम जो है, we are not involved in the screen. We don't want to see the television at that time. We are either playing carom, or we are playing any game. We can play Uno cards. We can have some name place animal thing. We can do something. But that quality time is something that binds you as a family. Your child would really look forward and would not tell you that आप तो मेरे साथ बात ही नहीं करते हो. That usually happens. A lot of times kids tell to their parents, आप तो बात ही नहीं करते हो. आप तो बात ही नहीं करते हो. This situation should never come to you. So try and spend quality time. When you are trying to plan your Saturdays and Sundays, the weekend when you are also on off and your child is also on off, don't plan your visits to the mall. Try and plan your visits to the park, जहाँ पे आप जाकर के उनके साथ in an open environment, you can sit, you can play, you can do what your child really wants to do with you. जो आप अपने busy days में नहीं कर सकते हो, but आप अपने off days में कर सकते हो. So spend this quality time with your child. Solve query. अगर बच्चा आपके पास कोई प्रॉब्लम लेकर के आया है, don't ignore it. Don't linger it on कि बाद में देखेंगे, बाद में सोचेंगे. Solve it then and there. If by any chance the question is little tricky, you can tell your child that beta, you can take that excuse that acha, give me 10 minutes, I will come back to you, I will solve this problem, so that हम साथ में बैठेंगे, हम इस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करेंगे ताकि आप भी हैप्पी हो जाओ और मैं भी हैप्पी हो जाऊं. बट डोंट इग्नोर इट. अगर आप प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व नहीं करेंगे तो बच्चा प्रॉब्लम के साथ आगे चलता जाएगा. Never keep a query unsolved. Lastly, sorry. Whenever the child has done something which is not appropriate, we always want the child to say sorry. Yeah, we always want sorry बोलो जल्दी से. But क्या हमने कभी बच्चे को सॉरी बोला है? हम भी तो कभी गलत होते हैं. It's not every time that we are right. No, we are not gods. We are human beings. We learn every day with our mistakes. But if I have made a mistake, I should go up front and say, sorry, beta, mama did something wrong. I should not have been scolding you because this was not your fault. If I can say sorry, my child can open-heartedly welcome me. It's okay, mama, you had a bad day. Similarly, if your child did something wrong and you wanted your child to teach that, beta, हम अच्छी बात करते हैं, हम मे बी बड़ों से प्यार से बात करते हैं, हम सामान को अपनी जगह रखते हैं rather than telling them कि आप थ्रो क्यों कर रहे हो. So if the child is not doing something good, he or she can easily tell you sorry because they have seen you saying sorry. So again, the performance is dependent on this. The 3 Ps, the performance is dependent on this because they saw what we delivered so that they can perform. Now, this is the reward chart that I was talking about here. You can mention something. So this is so much. You don't have to do so much because if in the beginning you do so much, the child will get confused. You can just have 1, at the max 2 things. Put the stars that aaj bachche ne acha kiya. You've given the star at the end of the day before the child goes to sleep. Second day also before the child goes to sleep, he or she did good. So you've given the star. But today, this thing that you wanted did not happen. So there is no star. Sorry. And similarly, at the end of the week, we are going to count. This I've already said. These are the don'ts of parenting. No is a big no. Kids don't understand no. So do not jump, do jump. No hitting, please. Hitting, please. Everybody knows that screen should not be given to the kids. But unfortunately, everybody is giving the screens. You can find out the, I'm sorry. You can find out the substitutes to the screens if you plan your day wisely. If you plan activities wisely with your child, you can avoid screens. You can put them into some co-curricular activities. You can plan so many activities with them. आज हमने let's say आज हमने potato painting करी है. आज हम कुछ science experiment करेंगे. Even you can involve them in your house chores. Let's fold the clothes with mama. अच्छा हम एक काम करेंगे, अपने clothes बेटा आप इस bucket में रख दो. You can involve them. It's all about how wisely you plan your day. You might need help. You can ask for help, but screens is not the solution. They will get addicted to the screens. That mama ne kaam karna hai, papa ne kaam karna hai, hame screen mil jayegi. And they will crave for it later. I've already told you no comparisons. Agar bachcha kuch keh raha hai, please do not ignore. I've mentioned all these things. Couple of things which you should be taking care, because now the child is entering into this formal setup, which is a big setup. The life is going to change. There are set rules. There are, set things to be taken care of. So please start building the routine of your child. Don't make them awake at late night. They should be getting up early in the morning. They can take a nap in the afternoon, but sleep time should be a set time. It's the off day going on, so the child can stay awake a little later at night. No, try and avoid that. Why to disturb their biological clock, which you're trying to set at once and disturbing at once? Try and do the activities in the first day rather than bringing it to the second half of the day. Okay, so you have to set that routine so that your child can be active enough in the school to learn what the child-centered activities the school is trying to do. The child should be an active participant in that. You should make them learn the sharing skills. These days, many of the kids are single kids. They don't have siblings. So when you don't have a sibling, the sharing habit is not inculcated. So you should start inculcating that sharing habit. Sometimes even with the siblings, the kids start fighting that I don't want to share this with Bhaiya Didi or something, or I don't want to share it with my friends. So please teach them what sharing means, what value sharing holds. आप अपने साथ begin करा सकते हो, have 2 plates. बच्चे की प्लेट में कुछ और फ्रूट रखा, अपनी प्लेट में कुछ और फ्रूट रखा. चलो बेटा, let's share it with mama. So suppose 2 by 2, grapes you can give mama, and 1 apple piece mama is going to give you. So that is how we are sharing. We are giving it that I have also shared something with you. You have also shared something with me. Then self-feeding. They should start eating themselves, because in school, play school was different, formal school, things change. They should start feeding. Though these habits is not something to scare you that now the child is going to formal schools, the teachers are not going to take care. No. The teachers in the school are just as the parent in the school. There, when you as parent, you are taking care of your child at home, but in the school, each and every teacher is taking care of the entire class as a parent, right? So this is not to scare you that the scenario is going to go different, but this is to make understand so that your child can be independent. Then toilet training, hand washing, is very important. So they should know that how they can wash their hands nicely so that they don't get infected in any means before and after having their meals. Mask wearing, though the COVID has gone, but we still have got some flus going on these days. So just to make our kids little more safe in the public places, you can teach them how they can wear the mask. Quickly, I will go through few of the activities that you can do at home, which are going to be helpful for your child for their fine motor and gross motor development. Playing with clay or dough is a beautiful activity where your child's hand muscles, your fingers, they become strong so that they can hold the pencil and do the work in the class. Watering the plants is again going to strengthen your hands. When the hands are strengthened enough, they can do work in the school. Paper tearing and pasting activity, again, is going to be the fine motor activity which strengthens the hand muscles. Ball play. With ball play, you can inculcate the both hand use with the child. When your child is able to use both hands, it is again helpful for the child to do the daily core activities like buttoning, to do the daily core activities like holding the glass or the bottle with both hands. Scissoring skills, blowing bubbles, it will improve the speech and the chewing part of your child. You can involve your child in the daily tasks. Like I said, to avoid the screen time, you can have these tasks, which is going to be helpful in improving their fine motor skills, gross motor skills, and at the same time, they get that value that we can be of help with the mother in the house chores. आज हमने भी कुछ productive किया at home. I also participated. I also gave my effort in something. Jumping, kids learn a lot with movement. So they should be jumping, they should be having, this jumping movement so that their active participation can be one of the part. Apart from that, jumping is one activity with which you can make them learn so many things. You can have, like you can see here, that you can make them learn the numbers. You can make them learn the colors. Let's jump in the blue circle. Let's jump in the yellow circle. Let's jump on number 5. So with simple academic concept and simple play activity, you can involve both the things and the learning will go to the next level. So the take-home message, you need to maintain your patience. You should trust the system. The school system is there to support you, to give you all the comfort. So you need to trust the process that is going on. You have to stay connected with everybody. You have to stay connected with the child. You have to stay connected with the teachers to monitor everything. And lastly, you have to stay positive. This positivity is something, if you are positive, this energy is going to transfer to your child. So you have to stay positive. Thank you so much for your patient listening. I hope I did justice to this orientation session. And if there's something, please put your queries in the chat box. I will not end the presentation till I solve each and every query. So with this, I stop my screen. Yes. So over to Shimpi ma'am.
Thank you so much. That has been such an informative session, and I hope it is going to help parents a lot. Dear parents, the comment section of YouTube is open. You all can come up with your queries now. Dr. Shweta, there are already few queries with us. So I'll be asking you one by one. Firstly it's from Miss Rachna. My child throws things, hits and breaks the things. So what is the way out?
So as I said, that you have to try and understand the ABC rule, which is the most important one. To every parent coming up again, ABC rule is something, agar aap us rule ko samajh lete hain, agar aap understand kar lete hain, what is the antecedent to the behavior of the child, you will be able to sort it out. So agar hame ye pata hai that why child is throwing, probably aapne bacche ki koi baat nahi mani jiski wajah se वो थ्रो कर रहा है, या the other behaviors that you mentioned. So हमें वो समझना है that आपने कौन सी बात नहीं मानी, whether you should have really agreed to that particular demand of the child, या हमें उस particular चीज को किसी और तरीके से mold करना है. So if you can put it that why your child throws, is it something that the throwing happens the entire day, or with some specific behavior, that will be of little help to me.
Okay, fine. I think that answers their query, ma'am. Then we have a query. My child screams a lot when I say no to her. So basically, it's not possible for a parent, ma'am, to say yes every time. So please help out.
So I am not telling you to say yes every time. Okay, but I am trying to tell you that please mold the way you are dealing with your child. You have to mold your instruction. For example, if you are saying no to screen, you can tell them, "Acha, let's do 5 minutes of playtime. Uske baad hum screen le lenge." So it's not something that you agreed to the screen time immediately. It is not something that you said immediately no, right? But you try to create that balance that hum karenge, give me 5 minutes. You had given the child to maintain his patience. You dealt with the child with patience so that both of you can connect nicely. So the child is not here some every time we know that the child will not understand no, वो हमारी ना को हर बार नहीं सुनेंगे, क्योंकि अगर वो देखते हैं तो उनको देखना है, ओके, बट आप उसको धीरे धीरे करके मोल्ड कर सकते हो. दिस इज एब्सोल्युटली पॉसिबल. इट विल टेक टाइम, बट यू नीड टू बी कंसिस्टेंट. कंसिस्टेंसी इज द की टू योर सक्सेस. अगर आप उसको कंसिस्टेंटली करेंगे, आई चैलेंज यू, हम वो कर सकते हैं. इट माइट टेक अ लॉट ऑफ पेशेंस, बट वी कैन डू इट.
Absolutely right. Patience is much required.
Yes.
And there is a parent who is asking, my child spits over others. So what can be done, ma'am?
So probably this child is spitting. So I am assuming, because I don't know the background, I am assuming that maybe the child is spitting because he or she is trying to gain attention. So spitting could be just an attention seeking behavior. So अगर आप बच्चे के साथ वो time spend करते हैं that the child really needs, probably that attention seeking will go down. It could be a sensory issue also. अगर वो sensory issue है, then the parent might need a professional help. But if it's just an attention seeking behavior, then with your efforts, you can definitely decrease this behavior. And yes, you can guide them. One more thing, you can again, tell them what they are supposed to do. What I mentioned. So for example, if the child is spitting on somebody, you can always tell them, नहीं ये नहीं करना है, because आपने अचानक से उस बच्चे को उस particular moment पे attention दिया. So as soon as you provided attention, the child knows that ये करने पे मुझे attention मिल रहा है. So what you can do instead, that बेटा let's go to the washroom, हम वहां पे spit कर लेंगे. बच्चे को करना है वो. You can give the alternative what child can do. So this is the effort that the parent has to perform.
That is a great idea, ma'am. Then we have a parent asking how social appreciation is possible in nuclear family. When only two of the parents are there, how is it possible?
So let's say the mother is not working. Maybe I am assuming that the mother is a homemaker and the father is working. So suppose the father is coming back from the office, and in between that duration, the child did something wonderful. So the mother has to build up that excitement for the child that पता है पापा जब आएंगे ना, so मैं उनको बताऊंगी that आज आपने इतनी अच्छी बात करी. He will be so happy with you. And beforehand, probably you can inform the father that something this has happened. So aap jab aoge, so you have to welcome this particular thing with the zeal that the child feels very, very motivated. At times, when we enter the home, sometimes we are not into that phase that we can react the way we should be reacting. So with prior information, we can definitely deal with this. And also, when you are in the nuclear family, even though you are in the nuclear family, there are calls available. So either you can make a call to the grandparents, maternal grandparents, नानी नानू को फोन कीजिए, दादी दादू को फोन कीजिए, बुआ को फोन कीजिए, मासी को फोन कीजिए, वीडियो कॉल, यहाँ पे 2 मिनट का वीडियो कॉल, that चलो हम बताएंगे उनको that you were such a good boy. ये तो हम generally करते हैं. Video calls are so common these days. FaceTime is happening so much. तो लेकिन अगर हम वो FaceTime with purpose कर रहे हैं, it gives motivation to the child. I hope I solved the query.
Yes, absolutely, yes, ma'am. And ma'am, basically some children, what they do is during initial days of schooling, they cry while coming to the school. So how to overcome this separation anxiety?
So you have to prepare your child that hum school jayenge. School mein, whosoever is the class teacher, you can have a picture of the class teacher, put it there in front of the child. Tell ye mama ki friend hai. ये आपको उतना ही लव करेंगे जितना मम्मा इज लविंग यू अगर आपको कोई भी प्रॉब्लम है तो आप उनको बताओगे, आप उनको मैम कह सकते हो, आप उनको इफ यू आर हंग्री यू कैन टेल मैम, आप मुझे आके बताओगे, मम्मा इज गोइंग टू कन्वे दैट मैसेज टू मैम. Preparation is the base for any child to go to school. अगर आपने उनको प्रिपेयर नहीं किया है and randomly you put something, that's not possible. If randomly a guest enters your house, you're like ये क्या हो गया अचानक से, you were not really prepared for that particular situation, but being adults आपने उसको मैनेज किया. Similarly हमारे बच्चे अभी छोटे हैं, they are just stepping, taking this big step. So definitely that preparation is very, very important for them. अगर आप उनको प्रिपेयर करेंगे, build up very, very positive, thoughts about the school, that आपको friends मिलेंगे, आप उनसे जाके बात करोगे, आपको play मिलेगा, tell them few, about the games, that school में ball भी होती है, school में ball pit भी है, there is a swimming pool also, there are so many plants in the school, all the positive things that you can tell to the child. That really brings the motivation that मैं जाऊंगा तो सब अच्छा होगा. And when the child is crying, you have to tell them that you got to be strong. आप मम्मा की strong boy हो, आप मम्मा की strong girl हो. Strong boys, strong girls always smile. So give them that motivation. If they're crying, अरे मेरा बच्चा रो रहा है, the way you are dealing change the entire scenario.
This is a great task that a parent has to perform before sending the child to school.
Absolutely.
And ma'am, there is a query about daily hygiene. How these issues can be managed? How to resolve them? Daily hygiene.
So again, daily hygiene is something, charity always begins at home. So अगर हमें daily hygiene के ऊपर काम करना है and we want our child to, understand few basic hygiene rules, like I mentioned, that they should start building that habit of the routine things, that the child should be washing hand every time before and after the meal. They should use the napkin. They should have a table mat under their plate. So these things are something that the parent has to start preparing at home. If they do those activities, and again, performance, what I mentioned of the 3 Ps. So if we are doing the same thing, only then the child is going to learn from us. So if we are using the table mat, the child will definitely use the table mat. If I am going to wash my hands before and after the meal, the child understands that yes, I have to go. I can keep it, a napkin side by, so that मैं clothes से hand wipe नहीं कर रही हूँ, because मेरी मम्मा और पापा ऐसा कर रहे हैं. They are wiping the hands with the mat. With the napkin. So I also have to do in case my hands get dirty in between. So these are the things. And yes, if I am having cold, suppose at home, so mama ne lekar ke napkin wipe nahi kiya. You should teach the child how they are supposed to use the napkin on themselves. They will create mess up in the beginning, but that is how they're going to learn. अगर हम उनको opportunity ही नहीं देंगे करने की, तो वो कैसे करेंगे? They will not do anything. They will not be able to do anything actually. They can do everything, but opportunity needs to be given. अगर आप opportunity नहीं देंगे, they will not do anything.
Acceptable, ma'am. They should do it. Exactly. You are absolutely right. The last query which we have is how to deal with behavior problems in joint families. The child gets influenced by others.
That's one tricky. But again, it is tricky, but ऐसा नहीं है that हम इसको solve नहीं कर सकते हैं. Again, the first thing comes up to the parents. सबसे पहले दोनों पेरेंट्स में, मम्मी और पापा, उन दोनों में एक म्यूचुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग होनी चाहिए that this is one particular behavior that we are going to start with. So how you can choose behavior? सबसे पहले make a list of 10 behaviors which you feel that are not appropriate. जब हमने वो 10 behaviors की एक list बनाई, now out of those 10 behaviors, prioritize which you feel is the worst thing. ये सबसे पहले हमें choose करना है. Now when you chose, with mutual consent of both the parents, you started working. Now here सबसे पहले मम्मी और पापा को सेम बोट में सेल करना है. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि पापा ने डांटा तो मम्मी ने प्यार कर दिया, मम्मी ने डांटा तो पापा ने प्यार कर दिया. ओके, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दोनों को अग्रीमेंट के साथ करना है. जब बोथ पेरेंट्स कैन अग्री ऑन समथिंग, नाउ द चाइल्ड इज गोइंग टू गो टू द ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स. Now, if that situation happens, you have to sit in harmony with the grandparents, make them understand, explain the situation that aisa aisa ho raha hai. We have started that we don't want to, be harsh with the child. Chillana, marna is not the solution. You cannot do that, but you can solve the query with harmony. तो जब अगर हम उसको किसी चीज के लिए मना कर रहे हैं, तो आप उसको उस पर्टिकुलर चीज को मत दीजिए, अदरवाइज दिस इज गोइंग टू क्रिएट द स्टबर्न बिहेवियर. मम्मी ने नहीं दिया, दादू दादी पक्का दे देंगे. मम्मी ने स्क्रीन नहीं दिया, हम दादू दादी के रूम में जाकर के टीवी देख लेंगे. दिस इज द मोस्ट कॉमन सिनेरियो. सो एट दैट पॉइंट इन टाइम, ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स, उनको अगर हम समझाएंगे ना तो वो समझेंगे. देखिए, ऐसा कोई भी इंसान नहीं है जिसको आप समझाओगे तो वो नहीं समझेंगे. अल्टीमेटली they are also human beings. They also want their grandchildren to perform well in the society. तो अगर आप उनको प्यार से बिठा करके positives and negatives किसी चीज के बताएंगे तो वो definitely समझेंगे. It might take time. Again, it is going to take your patience. Again, you need to be consistent. But ये पक्का हो सकता है. So I think that's the only way out in the joint family, how you can deal. You have to bring everybody in the loop. You cannot leave a single person. आपको सबको एक साथ बिठा करके चीजें एक्सप्लेन करनी पड़ेंगी, तभी आप उसको सॉल्व कर सकते हैं.
Truly acceptable. Now I request our principal ma'am to give some inputs.
Can I come in between?
Surely, ma'am. Surely, ma'am.
Am I audible? Am I audible now? Am I audible? Am I audible now? It's still the same or it is clear now?
I think there is some network issue. We're trying to resolve it.
So I believe there is a problem in connectivity. Still, is it the same or some clarity?
Network issue in ma'am's room. She is joining your room.
I'm sorry, there was some problem of connectivity. First of all, I would like to, am I audible now?
Yes.
Shweta, you are such a wonderful, lovable person. You are a wonderful counselor, and I'm so happy that you are with us, with all the faculty members here, and with the parents. All small, simple tidbits of your advices. It was really amazingly wonderful. And I'm sure all the parents have enjoyed every simple information, every simple thing you have just given to us. And dear parents, I must tell you one thing. In our school, teachers and my supervisor, Mrs. Simmi Mahajan, they are always with the kids doing, and I believe this is more because Shweta is always there with us. Whenever we have any problem, Shweta is always there with us, and she keeps on motivating us, and really we are having a very good time. And Shweta, you have given such a sweet kind of kind of information to parents that I am really very, very happy. And all the queries of parents must have settled down now.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Always there. I mean, I owe so much to DAV. Always available.
The parents, they were really very much, and the parents were really The parents were really very happy to hear you. All lots of queries, all kinds of questions, and you have so patiently has done it. So thank you very much. And thank you, dear parents, to be very patient with us. And I'm sure you have enjoyed this orientation program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your inputs. And thank you so much, Dr. Shweta. We all are delighted by your presence. Thank you so much for your presence. And thank you so much for sharing with us so much of your knowledge and information. I'm sure all the parents have acquired a lot from you. Now let us move further to know few important points. You all have already been provided with the circular that consists of important information, and all these significant notifications have been uploaded on the school website as well. Still, to remind you of the same, I want to tell you here that offline orientation program for both the parents of the ward will be held on 25th March 2023, that is Saturday, to acquaint the parents with the curriculum and the school environment. All your queries will be addressed by the class teacher on that day. New offline orientation program for both the parents of the ward will be held on 25th March 2023, that is Saturday, to acquaint the parents with the curriculum and the school environment. All your queries will be addressed by the class teacher on that day. New academic session for nursery class will commence from 1st April 2023, that is Saturday, at TP Block School Building. The school will be working for 5 days in a week and will remain closed on every Saturday for students. And kindly check the school website to know about the existing and proposed bus routes as well. For any further query, you may visit our school website www.dldavpp.in or write to us at the school's email ID dldavpp@yahoo.co.in. Now I request our most cherished in charge ma'am to present the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of our school, I would like to thank Dr. Shweta Vadva for her motivational address. This program would not have been possible without her presence and inspiring words. I thank her from the bottom of my heart, and she has resolved the queries of the parents so beautifully. And also, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the dear parents for your being a part of this virtual induction program. I would like to thank Honorable Principal Ma'am for her constant support and motivation and her contribution in the lives of the children. She is always there and she is always motivates us. And because she loves the children, और हमेशा उनका यही होता है, सिमी बच्चे बहुत छोटे हैं, so I just tell ma'am yes, and she is always there. And at the end, I would like to say that we at the junior wing aim to bring out the artistic and academically strong abilities of young minds. The school prides itself on its innovative and rich curriculum, and apart from academics, we try to foster values of courtesy, consideration, and individual responsibility, and provide both challenge and support for our little ones. We focus upon the all-round development of the children. And for this, we have forward to the support and cooperation of all the parents in order to enhance and strengthen the success of our little munchkins. So thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I would like to request each one of you to join us for National Anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मङ्गलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you so much, everyone, for being a wonderful audience. I hope this whole program has given you an assurance about your child's bright future. I assure you that at DLDAV as a team, will work to make your kids stand out of the crowd. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, parents. Thank you once again, and have a nice day.